Mark was a 32-year-old office worker with a simple life. He worked at a small accounting firm, but he often felt bored and unhappy. One day while scrolling through social media he saw a post about Bitcoin. The post said that some people had become millionaires by investing in Bitcoin early. Mark was fascinated. He started reading more about cryptocurrencies and how they could make people rich quickly. He joined online groups, watched videos and read articles about crypto. Everyone seemed to be talking about the next big thing. Mark thought, why not me? Maybe I can change my life too. Mark started small. He invested $500 in Bitcoin. In just a few weeks his investment doubled. He was thrilled. Excited by this success, he invested more money in other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum and Dogecoin. He even bought some lesser-known coins that people on Reddit said would go to the moon. His portfolio grew quickly and Mark began dreaming of a better life. He imagined quitting his job, buying a fancy car and traveling the world. He spent hours every day trading and checking prices. He felt like he was part of something big, something that could make him rich. As his investments grew, Mark became more confident. He started borrowing money from friends to invest even more. "I'll pay you back with interest," he promised them. His friends trusted him and lent him money, thinking he knew what he was doing. But the crypto market was unpredictable. Some days his investments went up and he felt like a genius. Other days they crashed and he felt panic. Still, Mark believed it was just a temporary dip. The market will recover, he told himself. He kept borrowing and investing, ignoring the risks. One day disaster struck. A major coin Mark had invested in turned out to be a scam. Its value dropped to zero overnight. At the same time, the entire crypto market crashed. Mark panicked and sold his other investments at a loss, hoping to save some money. But it was too late. He had lost almost everything. Worse, he was now deep in debt. He had borrowed thousands of dollars from friends, and he had no way to pay them back. His dreams of wealth were gone, replaced by a mountain of problems. Mark's friends soon found out about his losses. They were angry and disappointed. "You promised to pay us back," they said. Mark tried to explain, but they didn't want to listen. One by one his friends stopped talking to him. They felt betrayed and Mark felt ashamed. Without friends, Mark was completely alone. He had no one to turn to for support. He struggled to pay his bills and even thought about selling his car and apartment. The stress kept him awake at night and he felt like a failure. At work, Mark's performance suffered. He could barely focus and his boss noticed. "What's going on, Mark?" his boss asked. But Mark was too embarrassed to tell the truth. He felt trapped with no way out. One night, Mark couldn't sleep. The weight of his debts and the loneliness were crushing him. He decided to go for a walk to clear his mind. As he walked past a park, he saw a group of friends laughing and enjoying themselves. It reminded him of the good times he used to have with his own friends. Tears filled his eyes as he realized how much he had lost. Not just money, but the people who cared about him. The next day, Mark received a call from one of his closest friends, Alex. "Mark, we need to talk," Alex said sternly. When they met, Alex didn't hold back. "You didn't just lose money, Mark. You lost our trust. Do you even realize that?" Mark felt a lump in his throat. He had no words to defend himself. For the first time, he truly understood the consequences of his actions. Determined to change, Mark reached out to a financial advisor recommended by a coworker. The advisor, Sarah, listened patiently as Mark explained his situation. "Crypto isn't inherently bad," she said, "but it's not a shortcut to wealth. You need a plan, discipline, and patience." Sarah helped Mark create a budget and a debt repayment plan. She also advised him to focus on stable investments and avoid risky schemes. Mark felt a glimmer of hope for the first time in months. Mark took on a second job delivering food to earn extra money. It was hard work, but it taught him the value of earning money through effort. He also joined a support group for people who had lost money in crypto. Hearing their stories made him feel less alone and motivated him to keep going. Slowly, Mark began to repay his debts. He reached out to his friends to apologize one by one. Some forgave him while others didn't, but Mark accepted their decisions. He knew rebuilding trust would take time. Months later, Mark stood in the same park where he had once felt so lost. This time he felt a sense of peace. He had paid off most of his debts and was starting to rebuild his life. He still invested in crypto, but now he did it responsibly with a long-term plan. Mark also started volunteering at a local charity, helping others who were struggling. He realized that true wealth wasn't about money, it was about relationships, kindness, and learning from mistakes. As he watched the sunset, Mark smiled. He had lost a lot, but he had gained something even more valuable: wisdom, humility, and a second chance. The story of Mark reminds us that chasing quick wealth can lead to big losses, not just financially but also in relationships and mental health. True success comes from patience, hard work, and learning from mistakes. And no matter how far we fall, it's never too late to start over.